Live from Thornbury Creek at Oneida, this is Locker Room with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin. Now your host, Bert Griffin.
The boys from Motown came to Titletown and left with a third straight win. And now Green Bay hits the bye week with a respectable 6-3 record heading into the second half of the season. And that will begin with a road trip against the Bears, followed by a pivotal stretch for the Pack with a pair of home games the week of Thanksgiving. Get ready for another edition of Locker Room. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Locker Room right here at Thornbury Creek Golf Course at Oneida. The Packers are heading into the bye week as they get set for a showdown with the Bears after a week off, well-deserved, after 3 straight months of grinding it out, playing some football. We'll talk more about that with Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks in just a moment. But first, let's hear it from my co-host of the show, 3-time Super Bowl champion, former Packer running back and coach, Harry Sidney.
Hello there. Hello there. What's up, bud? How you doing?
When they talk about a litmus test and the way the NFC North has been this year, easily the best division in the NFL, the Packers need to do a little work. However, they also know where they have to go from here moving forward.
I mean, because when you look at it, they lost to Detroit 24-14. 7 of those points, interception, pick 6. But you held this offense, for this defense to do what they did, when you're looking at a bright spot, outstanding job.
The Lions had been putting up 40, 50 points a game. Sloppy conditions, raining all day.
Football,
no one's going to make excuses.
Football.
Because, look, you got to play, right? And both teams have to do it. However, this is where one play here and there defines football.
Well, it's not just one play. It's putting guys in position to make the play. Prime example, on the touchdown to Ray Brown. They looked after Kashawn Nixon because he's a returner playing cornerback.
Right.
They found that weakness. Good teams find your weakness, and when you do that, good players make great plays.
Yeah, it can be a trickle-down effect.
Yes,
when you lose a great player and Jair Alexander's not out there and you have to adjust, look, they say next man up mentality. We get that. However, the next guy might not be as good as the guy who's the starter because they're a starter for a reason.
Well, there's no question about it, but unfortunately, when you look at Detroit's, been built for this.
Yes.
They look like they've been built for this.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers, they're in that position that they need a couple more players and the quarterback that understands when it's time to make the play and not make the play.
Well, and one of the big difference makers, obviously, the pick 6 changed a lot of things right before halftime. That's the worst when a team, you're playing close, you're playing tough, and one play goes the other way. Then Jahmyr Gibbs comes out in the third quarter.
Yes.
They march all the way downfield. Now you're playing from behind, 24-3. It's rainy. It's a crummy day. And we just saw toward the end, sloppy mistakes hurt Green Bay in the end.
Well, those mistakes, but you also have when you have 7-minute drives early in the game and you only get 3 points.
Right.
When you got a defense that's playing pretty decent, you got a punter that's kicked the ball out of the world.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of situations that were, at that moment, Green Bay just wasn't ready for that moment.
It's funny you mentioned the punter. He'll be part of the show in just a couple minutes. But right now, you know what time it is, right?
I know it.
Time now for our pivotal performance powered by local IBEW 158 in a season where many players have shined for a variety of reasons. Jaden Reed continues to impress. 5 catches, over 100 yards once again. I know there's not supposed to be a number 1, 2, and 3, and Matt LaFleur kind of was like, okay, I'm not even going to address that. However, this guy, I tell you what, I mean, he's making everybody in the league take notice.
Well, he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
It's not about where you put him at. Here's your playmaker. Put the ball in his hand. Most of the time when the ball's in his hand, he makes people pay. He's that guy. He's a threat.
Yep. Well, one guy who else is also a playmaker, making people take note early in his NFL career.
Yes.
Coming up after the break, Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks is in the house.
Locker Room is presented by these fine sponsors.
Welcome back to Locker Room. Please welcome our very special guest tonight, Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks. Everybody, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Thank you for doing this on the bye week.
Oh yeah, no problem.
You and your lady friend could be on a beach already, but maybe you'll do that later in the week.
Yeah,
right?
maybe later. Maybe later.
Tell me about the sweatshirt. I see that, and who cares?
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, Josh Jacobs, our teammate, he gave it to us. I want to say after the Brazil game. Just kind of something like that represents like we don't care what people think, we don't care what people talking about us. Outside noise. It's kind of like you make a good play, like who cares? Let's make another one type of mindset. So that's the reason why we wear it.
Bye week, anything special? What are you doing to get away from football?
I'm gonna take care of my body first and foremost. Get ready for the second half, but nothing. Just reconnect, refocus, and just get away, clear my head a little bit, and then get ready to attack the second half of it.
Yeah, look, we're lucky to have you here tonight, and from a season perspective, 6-3, yeah, we already talked about it. Detroit, who cares? Moving forward, this division's tough, and coming after the bye, you got the Bears, and then kind of a crazy stretch, Niners, Dolphins, and then another road trip back to Detroit. How are you guys looking at this? Is it we got to really get after it right away, or just let's take care of business, make the playoffs? And as we saw last year, you went on the road and beat Dallas, and you were this close to beating San Fran.
Yes, sir. We kind of got the motto, we're going to be where our feet at. We're going to take it one day at a time. Right now, we on our bye, so we're going to get our bodies right, and then it's 100% focus on the Bears when we come back and we in the building, and they're going to get our full attention. Because like you said, this division is hard. Winning right now this late in the season is crucial, and losing is crucial. So you want to take advantage of your opportunities for sure.
And when you talk about opportunities, we look at your film, you got power, you got strength and speed, all those different things. Now you've played under two defensive coordinators. Which of the defensive styles gives you the best opportunity to use your skills?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we got a new defense. Both defenses is great in my opinion. The 3-4 or the 4-3, but me personally, I'm in love with this Jeff Haffey defense and this scheme. I love the model of it, TFL and sacks, penetrating, getting off the ball. I feel like that allows me to use my quickness when I'm down in the 3 technique or I'm playing shade or G. And it's really an attacking style defense, which I enjoy playing. You don't really have to play block, so that's what I like and do.
Well, and I was going to ask you because back when he coached here in Green Bay, Fritz Shermer ran a 4-3, and they did a 3-4 of some kind or a hybrid for a long time. 1 technique, 3 technique, A-gapper, 5-gapper, inside out, twists. What's your specialty? What do you like the most?
What's your thing, man? What's your thing?
I mean,
swim, rip, all of it?
I love when we just line up and just go. I mean, being in a 3 technique or a shade don't matter. And really just depending on how fast that offensive guard react. If I can beat him with speed and not have to touch him, I'd rather just go. But, if he meet me at that point of attack or on my track, it's either I got to go through him. So I really just like playing in my favor and playing on my terms. So really whatever I decide I want to do.
Well, and Harry, you know this. Sometimes statistics don't tell everything about a defensive lineman.
Exactly.
Because you're doing some dirty work and you're getting double teamed. But this guy already 12 tackles, 20 total overall, sack and a half. And last year, I don't know if you knew this, as a rookie, more sacks and fumble recoveries than any rookie in Packers history since 2009. Oh, yeah. You can clap, folks.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, do you remember who that was? Who was their first round draft pick that year?
2009, man. That's
Clay
Matthews.
Oh, by the way, Clay Matthews just went into the Packers Hall of Fame. Just saying, Karl. I know you're not an outside edge guy, but I think the fumble recoveries and the sacks on the D line shows the hustle factor. Is that your kind of your deal?
I feel like it's part of my deal. Even just growing up playing football from Pop Warner to all the way to now, my dad kind of, brought that upon me. Like, I was playing defensive end back in Pop Warner. He was like, yeah, you make all the tackles on your side. That's okay. But things that he enjoyed me chasing stuff down from the opposite side. And that's when he'd give me praise. And, as a kid, you always want your dad to, pat you on the back and stuff like that. Right. So when he did it like that, like chasing down blocks and stuff, it just gave me that mindset, like, oh, that's how I'm going to make the play. I don't care if it go away from me. I don't care if it come to me.
You said your dad. Who do you pattern your game after? Because we all did that. When you were young, you go, who am I going to be? You wind up being you, but who did you pattern your game after?
See, that's a tough question because I never thought I was going to be a defensive lineman. So
What do you think you were going to be?
Running back?
I was out back then. I was a receiver, so everybody wanted to be like Megatron back in the day.
Okay.
So as a defensive lineman, that wasn't until college really. So I would say I was patting my game after Megatron because I was out there playing wide receiver, high pointing the ball, getting phased in the end zone.
Wow.
Well,
So,
that shows the actual athleticism.
Now it makes sense why you see the athletic stuff.
Well, and when you mentioned college, dude, 6th rounder, Bowling Green, like we've talked a little bit about that. It's a success story. I get it. The MAC. There's certain conferences where if you're a baller, you're a baller. But for you, being a success story, going to a small D1 as opposed to Wisconsin, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Alabama, do you take a lot of pride in that?
At first, no, because really at first, I'm going to be honest, my mom was on me about getting an education and graduating from college. So that was my main focus.
Okay.
And then like the NFL really came apart, I would say, my junior, senior year when I started getting interest. Like I'm like, okay, I'm giving myself a chance to, be drafted, be seen, and get that opportunity. So I would say then, I walked around with it like a pride on my shoulder. Like, I'm a small school guy and I made it. So, like, I feel like sometimes I held that real high because I'm talking to all these SEC guys in the locker room. I definitely held my head high with that one.
You got Rashawn from Michigan, Devontae Wyatt from Georgia.
You hear that one all the time.
All those
Names ever mentioned?
Yeah.
UCLA.
Well, and I'll finish with this. I remember seeing the video, and sometimes those guys on day 2 and 3 don't get the love in the NFL draft. But you, Mom, hug, draft day. How cool was that?
That was very cool, bro. Like, that was, as a kid, that's a dream come true. Be able to, say to your mom that, we taking that next step and to be able to get that hug and emotional. It was great, bro. Like that was probably highlight of my life so far.
Yeah, the look on your face when you had that phone right up here.
Yeah, I was in disbelief.
All right,
Moms are moms.
I'm coming to Green Bay. Give me a hug.
Give me a hug.
All right, when we come back, we'll have plenty more with Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks. But first, it's time for our Easy Tab Fan Cam. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Locker Room here at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. The kids love it. Our special guest, Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks tonight. He mentioned a little bit about the bye week. You said you're going to rest and relax and get your body right because you got a stretch here coming up that's going to be tough. What do you do on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, or not, well, Wednesday you're already back to work, but a Monday night or Tuesday night? Are you bored in Green Bay? You're a Michigan guy. You're from Lansing. It's not like you grew up in Miami or LA, or right?
I mean, grew up with nothing to do anyway.
Is this normal, right?
It is normal for me. Staying in the house, playing the video game, and just watching film here and there, watching TV, watch a lot of shows, and just stay out the way.
When you say watching film, how much film? People don't understand how much film watching do you do on a daily basis?
Already from watching film in the building and then coming home and doing it on my own, I'd probably say about another 3-4 hours just by myself. I might watch, like if it's a run day, I'm gonna watch all the run cut up. I'm gonna watch all the points of attack from every left guard, the center, the right guard. And then I'm gonna put on the game, and then I wanna quiz myself when I'm watching that game. After I watch the run tape, like coach is saying, these certain formation, these runs are gonna come, and in a game, I like to try to put myself in that moment, and I'll be like, all right, let me call it out, let me see what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna assume the play gonna be, and then in my head, I'm gonna react this certain way, and then I let the film play, and I'll be like, oh, I'd be right if I did that. So to me, that's how I watch film, and I try to put myself in it.
Visualization.
Yeah.
Look at the guy and go, is he a strong right arm post? Is this guy, can he move his feet? Is he stiff? Is he a ice, what do they call it, a cow on skates? You know what I mean? Like,
little push
like you see a dude, you can bull rush, you're just going to.
Everybody's fighting, they'll get in line to get that guy.
All right, every week we go into the locker room. Time to go in the zone with Cameron is there, presented by Thornberry Creek and Oneida Nation.
Here with Packers punter Daniel Whelan. Daniel, why did you start punting in the first place?
So I kick a ball really far, so just translated from soccer to football. Not much of just the coach asked me to try out, so I did it.
Was there a certain moment where you realized that the NFL could be in your future?
Not really. Coach just told me should give it a shot, so I just kind of worked towards it like junior year of college. So yeah, it wasn't at first, but then eventually they started to.
When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
I don't know. I mean, I think I love what I do, but then like I feel like once I got here and like we win, that's when you start to kind of feel it all hit you. So, I mean, it's a constant love-hate relationship with football. So.
You've been in Green Bay for a couple of years now. Have you learned anything about this town that you enjoy?
I mean, small town. Everybody knows the football players. Solid food. A lot of wind. It's cold. It just makes you tougher. So yeah, learned a lot.
Coolest interaction you've had in Green Bay? Has a fan come up to you? Have they said hello?
Probably just like in the Ubers. Like my last year, before I even like made the roster, they knew who I was. So that's pretty cool.
This season, it seems like Matt LaFleur has praised you a lot, and the fans are kind of backing you. Is it cool knowing that you're playing a role that often is just, well, he just has to punt the ball, he just has to hold the ball, but you're getting a lot of love beside it?
I mean, it's cool, but you know, it's just I'm just doing my job at the end of the day. So if people recognize it, like, thank you. But my job's to like kind of be unnoticed, help change field position, and make it harder for the other offense.
Yeah.
All righty, thank you, fellas. Time now for our 1-minute drill. I know you defend against the 2-minute drill. These are real easy Q&A. Best thing you bought with your money so far?
Investment property in my hometown. I bought a house in Lansing, where I'm from.
Smart dude, smart dude. God ain't making any more land is what they say, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
All
It's
right,
in a good area.
what kind of car you drive?
A truck.
Go to jam while you're rolling down the road.
Any Gunna or a little baby.
Now, I think you touched on this a little bit. Biggest influence in your life?
My mother.
Mother. Favorite NFL player growing up? You said Megatron, right?
Yeah, Megatron, Percy Harvin.
Okay. Percy.
Harden.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So how can you be a Lions and a Vikings
I
guy?
ain't no Vikings guy.
It was just a Percy Harvin thing?
Yeah, just Percy Harvin thing.
All right, if you could be a pro athlete in a different sport, what would it be?
Baseball.
Las Vegas or the beach?
Vegas. No,
Oh.
beach.
Beach? All right, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Golf or fishing?
Fishing.
Steak, fish, or chicken?
Steak.
Karl Brooks with a K. Do you know how many Karl Brookses there are out there? I couldn't even find you on Twitter at all. There's a million of them.
Yeah, I don't got Twitter.
That's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah, nice.
You're our Karl Brooks here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the Packers and their fans are definitely glad that you are. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with our keys to the game coming up after the break.
Locker Room is presented by these fine sponsors. Midwest Farm.
Welcome back to Locker Room right here at Thornberry Creek at Oneida Golf Course. Our special guest tonight, Packers defensive lineman Karl Brooks. He's 3-time Super Bowl champ Harry Sidney. We ain't even going to talk about the Bears because I know right now, forget, like you talked about watching film and whatever. You got a week off. But moving forward now, this is where it becomes the nitty-gritty. If you got Detroit over here, Kansas City, and then now there's a next tier of a bunch of teams that are going to make some noise. Is that how you guys feel? Like, it's one game, who cares?
Nah. Every game matter. Every game
I know it
count.
matters, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Every opponent matter too. So you just got, like you said, it's nitty gritty, and we got to go out here and win each and every week.
All right, time for our keys to the bye week, brought to you by the dispensary. Number one, job for all the guys, rest and relaxation. Get off your feet.
Yep.
And then after that, look, the season's an absolute grind. Self-scout. You know Matt LaFleur and the rest of the staff will be doing just that. Find out your own weaknesses and your opponent's weaknesses moving forward. And like I said, get ready for the stretch run. That's where people remember the playoff runs, because this game, it is week to week, and Harry, you know this better than anybody.
Every game counts.
It can change. You might have one clunker, but you might run off 5-6 games in a row like you guys did last year, and that's kind of really what the approach has to be, right?
Yeah, but like you said, last year we digged ourselves in a hole. We had that losing streak. We didn't want to do that again, so we want to be able to control our own destiny. Like you said, though, continue to win and continue to build off of it each and every week.
Should be fun, right?
Well, and it looks like this year they have the ingredients to do it.
Yeah. Oh, you got a great quarterback, a little banged up. young, athletic, talented at all the spots that you definitely need to be. Karl Brooks, Packers defensive lineman, our special guest tonight on Locker Room. Appreciate you. Best of luck. Enjoy your time off, and thank you for watching Locker Room.
Thank you for watching Locker Room.